Buffett. He covers Berkshire for Bloomberg News. And Alex, Warren Buffett says he's going quiet with regards to the amount of writing he does for Berkshire Hathaway, with regards to the...
Look at this guy's face.
the amount of speaking he does for Berkshire Hathaway, because he's obviously still very busy there. But what should we expect now from him going forward?
So he said he's no longer going to write the annual report, which was, a must-read for all Berkshire fans, full of witticisms and investment advice and pearls of wisdom. He's also not going to speak at the annual meeting in Omaha in May. That is a big change, because he was speaking for more than 4 hours and entertaining and taking questions from shareholders. However, he will.
He's 95 years old, we should point out. Yeah. So any kind of 4-hour speaking engagement for a 95-year-old must be difficult.
Yes, definitely. And it makes sense that he kind of gives that off to Abel going forward, who's going to be CEO next year.
Now, he is going to do a couple things, right? I think he's going to write still his Thanksgiving missive, and he's still going to the office every day.
He's going every day, 5 days a week in the office, looking at opportunities that come up. He speaks about that in his letter. And yeah, we're going to have more letters about that. These are the letters where he details all the donations to the 4 foundations of his late wife and children. That's going to happen in the years going forward.
He's done what, $1.3 billion?
1.3 billion. He wants to
this year,
and he wants to step up the pace of donations to his children, because they are in their 60s and 70s. So he wants to make sure that they have his whole estate before he passes away. However, he cautioned that he will keep a significant amount of Class A shares to make sure that shareholders are still comfortable with Abel as much as they were with Buffett and Munger.
Now, he still has an absolute ton of money, right? $150 billion, according to the Rich Go function on the Bloomberg. He wants to give away all of this by the time he dies or on his death.
That was his pledge, and then his children are going to take care of this and make donations. And he says that they are fully grown now into philanthropic people, and they can take care of this in a useful way for the society.
Alex, great to get you on the program. Great reporting on this. Alex Rajbandari covers Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway for us at Bloomberg News. Coming up in the next hour, Crossmark's Victoria Fernandez says the bullish narrative for equities is alive, but is it? Well, Ben, DWS Group, America's CEO, and taking advantage of a new American desire for European assets, and Tim Draper's AI clone joins us, or maybe he joins us. This is Bloomberg.
Yeah, we can mute that. Interesting. Very interesting there. So Berkshire Hathaway's Warren Buffett going quiet. I don't know what that's about. He definitely doesn't want to go on a stage and answer questions for 4 hours. What's up, Kenneth? I didn't even know that the market was open. Good morning to you, though. Good morning. My back hurts. I know, random. Kind of still banged up from that day doing deliveries and falling off that bike. But yeah, it said here that let's see, where is it? Where was the notification? Said here, Tuesday, November 11th, a national bank holiday. All U.S. banking institutions and fixed income markets will be closed in observance of Veterans Day. As a result, deposits and withdrawals will take one additional business day to process. U.S. equity and options markets will remain open. So you can pretty much just buy and sell any equities and options today. But the trade settlements, if you choose to sell your shares or your options today, it will be delayed by one business day, and trades will execute tomorrow, and trades executed on Monday. So if you sold yesterday anything, for example, that will also be settled on Wednesday. So that's what's going on today. You do see, let's see what's going on. So what's going on for your morning, Kenneth? Can you hear me? I'm pretty sure you can hear me. I didn't want to have a little bit of music going on. It'd be funny if things just start happening now. That'd be interesting, right? Oh my God, the Veterans Day market crash today. All of a sudden, just tanking out of nowhere. I did hear a notification just now. Give me 1 second. What was that notification? Oh, Fubo. I keep getting Fubo, notifications pop up here and there, just randomly. Wow. I should get this stream out and share it on Discord. Should do that right now. Alright. Frosted wheat. Oh, the frosted mini wheats? Dude, I've missed eating those. Those are the bombs. I remember they used to have the bigger ones, remember? One that looks like they look like bricks in your bowl. I used to just cut them up, but then they figured, oh, we'll just do mini wheats, so people won't have a hard time trying to chew a big piece of it in their bowl. It has a satisfying crunch to it too, and then when you taste the frosting on it, that's what makes it like the way it is. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something. I was looking at this, and then I was gonna. Oh, right. Did y'all hit that like button? show some love and hit the like button. It doesn't cost you a thing. And thank you for joining the Lion's Den today on this Veterans Day 2025, November 11th. Markets are open, but you're gonna have to wait until your trades settle tomorrow. And it seems like it's very cold out there. And we had our first snowfall of the season of 2025 here in New York City. But it only lasted for like 30 minutes and it wasn't even that big of a deal. But it could be signs of more snow to come for this winter season. And I feel like we were overdue. We're so primed to have a winter season in hopes that it's this season that we see a blizzard in New York City. A blizzard that will freeze the city for about a couple days. That's something that I will look forward to. And so I could be able to stay home and not go to work. It's already snowed in Chicago, I heard. I forgot where. I mean, I'm pretty sure upstate New York too. Of course, it's always they're always getting snow at this point. I mean, at this time. What am I doing? I keep forgetting. Oh, right. ADHD. Totally forgot about that. Damp, cold, and rainy over there in Nova Scotia. Oh. Wow, it's actually... What? It's actually a lot warmer in Nova Scotia than it is here. When here in New York City it is 36 degrees and it feels like 29, 30. How does that make any sense? You guys are up north more, right? That's interesting. Let's see, the best month to go to Nova Scotia. The best time to visit Nova Scotia is generally July and August for warm weather and peak outdoor activities, or June, September, and October to avoid crowds and experience pleasant weather. The average temperature of the coldest month in January, 25 degrees. That of the warmest month, August, is 66 degrees. Very nice. I remember when I left work yesterday and it hadn't even felt cold like the way it did in the morning time. When I went out there and I started riding my e-bike back home, and the wind also on top of that. Oh, I was literally like chittering. My teeth were like let's see what's going on here. Oh, SPY. Oh my God, SPY. Isn't it gonna crash for the Veterans Day? It's gonna crash, bro. I feel like at some point SQQQ is gonna bottom out so good. Like, I think it's in the process of bottoming out and like about to just show that the market is ready to tumble. Have let's see, we got this weekly candle here at the bottom at 1268, and this one at 1275, and then this week's here at 1341. So it's been slowly climbing back up here. So that's why, like, I was like, you know what? Let me jump on into some $14 calls for SQQQ expiring January 16th of next year. Not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. And it's holding steady at a decent average. Slightly in the green, slightly. It's a 30,000 share order for 1370 right there on the time and sales. Let's take a look at what those options look like here for January 16th, the 1400 calls. Volume at the slightest, with just eight in volume, 9,247 open interest, but the highest being for the $15 strike, 12,408, and the volume of 60. That should probably change. I was gonna say, let's see. You think the action's gonna be flat today for Veterans Day, or you think something's gonna shake it up? I think there's a chance that the markets will get shaken up by something. I'd we'll take a look at the daily here for a SPY. See how this progress is looking like. Ignore the bars pattern. I should delete that. Doesn't look like anything right now, unless no. Yeah, let me take that off. This is strange. I feel like we're moving all these lines. So are you just watching the markets and eating your frosted mini wheats, or are you thinking of trading? I can't even see with all these things here on the way. I'm about to switch here. Let's see, is it this one? No, this is different. Open sesame. Full speed. Let's look at this. GameStop Unfortunately, GameStop is still looking pretty bearish, in my opinion, here on the 4-hour. You can just pretty much see that there. And we have the 200-day period EMA far up here, and trading away from that, you have the Heikin Ashi candles still showing that bearish trend. Waves coming down here, which means that probably it could be a chance to retest 21 bucks as support. Just know that it was a previous level of support back here at the end of March this year, where it had actually reached a low of $20.79. But here on April 4th, it reached a low of $20.51. Forgot I had that there. Let's see. So, do like this. But on the daily, it looks oversold. I need to switch this. Actually, this is too. SPY is weakening here and breaking down. So switch this again. Which one is it? It's a TBD. It wasn't this one, was it? I literally have to like go through these sunbursts and find. Was it Hulk Smash? Was it not Hulk Smash? Was it Radiant? I can't even tell which one it was. Definitely not this one. Bull versus bear? No. Which one was the one with the thingy, man? It was like green. Okay, this thing is in my way, bro. Like, get out the way. Can't even see the layout. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's the one right there. That's the one. Okay. I like this one better. Oh, wait a minute. says here yesterday. This is for ASST. ASST, Strive Inc. down negative 6.76% at 138. Good Lord. Last went up to like 172 yesterday. Down. Here goes the bird. Spoiled little brat. You're a spoiled little brat. Spoiled little brat. Yes, you are. It's kind of difficult to tell here, especially if it's looking like it wants to come back down to hit around 115. Hit around 115. Support at 175. 245. ASST. Oh, wait a minute. Strive says between October 28th to November 9th, purchased about 1,567.2 Bitcoin for $161.9 million. And this was in their filing recently. But I feel as though if that's the case, I mean, wouldn't the strategy be, for them to wait for the big dip? Because I don't know, Bitcoin it's really, it doesn't seem as strong as it was before, in my opinion. And you could tell here too. Here on this is the hourly for Bitcoin. And you can tell on the hour, the trend seemed to have been breaking down since late Monday, and from there it seemed to topple over, and now we're back on a downtrend. So from 107,482 and now trading at 104,105. My guess here is that it's rejecting the 200. It is trying to turn red. The trend is trying to turn red on the SSEMA 200. If it starts to fall back down to 100,000, then ASST could feel the effects of that, and you could tell here. And not only that, but all the other miners, Bitcoin miners, here just getting affected by the decline of Bitcoin. BKKT Holdings here, which was once at like very high at 45. Not at all. It was almost at $50 at one point recently. And this was around October 2nd. And then it was, well, it did go through a split, but yeah, see that. But this decline here, yeah. Then you have BTBT, and you could tell the difference here. Or you could tell the similarities. It all seems to be following the same trend as Bitcoin. So I'll go back and look at Bitcoin, and you can see that there is the downturn occurring there. What else we have here? You got CSLK with the same trend, it's the same algorithm. Then you have, which is the next one? The next one, Hive. Oh yeah, Hive. You got Hive Digital Technologies with the same trend on the hourly. You have Hut, kind of pulling the same thing there, just like Bitcoin. And then you have, oh, that's IBIT. That's the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, also pulling back alongside with Bitcoin. Then we have Iron at 57.14, and it was at the top of almost $79 here as of November 6th, last Thursday. So I feel like maybe it could be some sell-off. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. What else? Mara, we got Mara at $14.93. Holy crap. It just retests that level there. That $15 level is supposed to be like a big deal. You know, some big support there, and if that actually starts breaking down below, especially now it's at $14.91. Yeah, you could probably start seeing this start coming back down to, like, I don't know, 14, so somewhere around here, where it had retested a couple of times. Here, see there, all this have been tested before many times around that level, so we could be coming back down to that. History repeats itself, right? So yeah, that is looking, ugh, does not look good at all. You could see that bearish divergence there playing out too. The 9 and the 20 EMA, and then the 200, and the wave of these expansion clouds. That's been a lot more heavier recently. So as long as Bitcoin continues to go on a decline, and that's what's going to happen to the rest of the stocks that are connected to Bitcoin. All the miners. Oh, excuse me. Mara, I've been watching Mara for such a long time. I've even traded a couple of times left and right. I did have some $16 Mara puts the other day, and it was for December 19th. And I'm like, dang, I should have just held that, because I definitely would have been a lot, you know. I would have probably gained a lot of profit. See what's going on. mRNA. Whoa, mRNA surprisingly is picking up a notch here in volume. Why is that? interesting. Wow. Well, here's Master's micro strategy. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. What we got going on for Moderna? Equinox. Oh, Rivian is going. It's moving. Let's check out Rivian right now, real quick. Rivian is moving. Didi. Wow. And look at how Rivian is looking like on the weekly. But on the 2-minute chart here, showing this rally that it's having right now currently. So what is going on with Rivian? And Rivian is doing, actually has been outperforming Lucid for some time. You can take a look at how Lucid has been doing for a while here, and look at the hourly compared to Rivian. And Rivian has been more active for sure. Look at that. It's on the hourly. That is on the hourly there. It was just at $12 back on the 4th, just 7 days ago. $12 and change. And now it's $17.64, trying to get up to $18 a share. What is the news? Let's go ahead and see what's up here. What is up here? Let's see. We can actually load up the news here. That'd be great. Weeble. I can't understand you over that noise. What noise? Cut that noise off. What noise? What is a noise? What is a noise? What's a noise? Is there a specific noise you're talking about? Because I don't understand that. I don't understand what noise it is. Good morning to you too. Rivian's autonomy efforts not focused on robo-taxis. So, okay, 11:33 Eastern Time. This must have been news from last night. Oh no, this was yesterday afternoon. Okay, Rivian's upcoming Autonomy Day will showcase its latest autonomous driving technologies, but the company is focused more on personal automobile autonomy rather than robo-taxis. Say D.A. Davidson analyst Michael Schlischke and Linda Umwali. Rivian Cars' active driving capabilities have attracted many of its customers, and as a result, the company is likely focused on giving its fun-to-drive cars the part-time use of autonomy, such as for commutes and simple trips, as opposed to marketing them as full-time autonomous vehicles. So they're they're just like focusing their attention away from robo-taxis, because like it's just robo taxis are just overhyped right now. They gotta really focus on the whole point of their product, their brand, what they're featuring in their vehicles. And it seems like Rivian. I noticed this because of just being out there. Just okay, that noise is annoying. Um, that bird is just, oh, sorry about that. But yeah, pretty much like I've just been watching. Just been watching a lot more people drive Rivian vehicles. Surprisingly more than Lucid. And I don't know if that is I mean, that's a clear sign of, more revenue coming into the company. Obviously it should be. No, yeah, he's yeah, he's talking to me. I mean, he hears me talking and then he reacts. But also, like, when there's noise being made in the kitchen, or any water running, anything like that, he just starts going crazy. I don't know if they're sensitive to particular noises, but the way he the way he he just simply squeaks. I don't know how I explain it, but it's just really loud. It's Sony. I didn't really get to see if Sony had any earnings. But you know what? I'm surprised that it had a big reaction here, cause it had closed on the 4th of November on the low of $12.39. No, $12.50, and then they had reported earnings that same day after market close, and they beat their earnings per share and revenue. So that's why they're having this reaction, because their numbers came out pretty good, and it's showing that Rivian is becoming a lot more healthier than what it was before, with their numbers. And again, like I was reading before earlier, how their efforts are not focused on robo taxis, because that's kind of like Tesla's deal. But I don't think a lot of people are really thinking about robo taxis. They're thinking about like these types of vehicles, like actually having fun, being able to experience firsthand, driving an autonomous vehicle like Rivian or whatever. I mean, this is not bad though. This is not bad. It actually did break previous resistance here at $17 when back in May 20th, and then coming back down here to like under $12. That to me, I think this is pretty this is pretty healthy in my opinion. The way that this had been trading for the past half a year, as a matter of fact, since the last summer, like spring to summer last year, from $8 to almost $19 there in a short time, and then just like going on just bouncing up and down throughout the whole year. I feel like this is actually solid. Not, it's pretty solid. You could tell that. You could tell how this looks very solid, and especially here, look, that's on the weekly chart. And it looks, and it seems, I mean, I'm just like trying to put this up together, and the way that this is trending, and the way is the ascending wedge I placed here followed through really well, and it broke out of that. So this could be the start of a new cycle for Rivian, and for more profitable earnings to come. In my opinion, not financial advice. So that's pretty cool. So let's see, maybe it'll head to 18 soon. Maybe it might just head to 18 soon. Talk about Sony, huh? Sony. Yeah, Sony did have earnings yesterday after market close, and they beat their earnings per share by 2 cents. So it was estimated to be at 33 cents per share, earnings per share, but now it went up to 35 cents. But the revenue was a miss. So they had some type of a reaction from that. So, but I mean, overall, I mean, looks like it held up. It held up here at 28.62. It was at 28, just below 28. So just a bit of a difference there. Massive gap. But it filled, and now it's consolidated and it's trying to come back up. Sony is still considered to be one of the strong competitors out there in electronics. And you got PlayStation. Ford. I've actually always, you know, had a, like, how do you call it? Like, I was always very fond of Ford. And how it traded, and throughout the history of the stock market, being well known to have survived many events, and how I think that, you know, this stock, I feel like, you know, this would have been considered, you know, a safe haven during those events, because it's like, oh, like you know, you can get in at 9, you park all your funds into Ford at this point here. And not only that, you get dividends on top of that, so 15 cents each share. They did distribute dividends this past Friday, but I'm surprised to see that Ford is actually climbing up. It's trending up here on the larger time frame, especially here on the daily. Um, will it continue to move up? I think even on the weekly, it so happens to have been breaking up and above the super secret 200 EMA. So it's got to stay solid. Um, if it can reach over $14 and break that resistance, as it has been shown here in the past, you can see here. It has been the resistance a couple of times here back in July, then back in July of 2023, and here November. This is August, November, August, May, no, August, November of 2022, July 2023, July 2024. What about the monthly? I wonder about that. The monthly. No, check this out. So the monthly for Ford. Why? How does this look? That's insane. Look at that. That looks pretty good. If it has another successful month here, Ford could definitely break over. I want to see Ford at least, break over 15 at some point before this year is over, unless an unexpected event occurs, in my opinion. What's going on with the other stocks? Let's see. Actually, as a matter of fact, speaking of Lucid, you can see Lucid's been on the opposite end, just falling off a bit here. Oh yeah. Even after it split here, the 1-for-10 split in September 2nd, even though it did see some upside after whatever on October 6th, that led to Lucid to lose all those gains again, and heading back down now after earnings were reported, a miss on both revenue and earnings per share. So why do I have a feeling that Lucid might just be coming back down again? Maybe heading back to new lows. Yeah, I had just showed that like a few moments ago, where Ford beat their earnings. Right here, see? Earnings per share, they were estimated to so estimated was about 35.5 cents. Earnings per share reported it was 45 cents. Standardized was 60 cents. And then the revenue was actually up by $3.49 billion. So they did great. They did pretty good. Trend is good. Ford is solid so far. So far, so good. GM, General Motors. They also beat earnings. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same. And they also paid dividends about 15 cents. Oh, wow. Okay. And they're reaching their 52-week highs. Let's see this article for 3 days ago. The score. GM, Tesla, Palantir, American Airlines, and more stocks that defined this week. Let's see. Let me take a look at Ford. Give me 1 second. Okay, so trade-sensitive stocks rose last Wednesday as the Supreme Court heard oral arguments on the case challenging the broad array of global tariffs President Trump has imposed. The levies appeared to be on shaky ground after the hearing, during which justices expressed skepticism about Trump's authority to impose sweeping measures on countries around the world. The Trump administration's top lawyer faced sharp questioning, including from some members of the court's conservative wing. Traders on prediction markets stepped up their bets that the levies won't survive the court's scrutiny. Some retail and auto stocks that have been weighed down by Trump's tariffs made moves higher. General Motors shares had risen 2.8% Wednesday, and Ford Motors had also added 2.5%. As for Tesla, the Tesla shareholders approved Elon Musk's $1 trillion pay package last Thursday. More than 75% of votes cast were in support of Musk's record-setting package, and the results were announced at the electric vehicle makers' annual shareholder meeting. The measure was hotly debated, with some large shareholders taking opposite sides. Musk, who is also CEO of SpaceX and XAI, was flanked by dancing humanoid robots on stage at the Tesla's headquarters as he thanked shareholders. The billionaire had threatened on social media to leave Tesla if the proposed package was rejected. He is already Tesla's biggest shareholder, with a roughly 15% stake. Tesla shares fell 3.7% on Friday. Let's see. Tesla is actually down negative 2.73%. We take a look at the daily chart for Tesla. As you can see right now, it looks like it is slightly getting weaker and is losing trend. It's losing its uptrend, and now you have Tesla below the VWAP, which is at $447.99, and then you have the 920 EMA combination, which is the light blue and orange lines that you see there, closing in and close to crossing each other bearishly. So if that happens, you might see a possibility of Tesla trending lower and even breaking below, in my opinion, maybe 430. And if everything else continues to trend the way it is, especially with the markets, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla were to see 400 again. So 400 if bearish, because there's still that slight gap there that I just spotted right now. There's still a slight gap here, right about 400 a share for Tesla. So we'll see if that actually plays out later this week and into the next couple of weeks before this month of November is over. And so we go ahead and check the 4 hour. You can see the 4 hour also losing weakness. Losing strength. This is the hourly, which is already well, the pullback is a lot heavy here. You can see on the 1 hour chart, very heavy. So this could start making his moves very soon. I just had a notification about Starbucks. Starbucks is actually up 2.45%, and it's surprising to me that it actually has been coming back up since last earnings was a miss, but their revenue was pretty high at 2.59%, over $245 million. But yeah, it looks to me that it's trying to move back up. It also pays a dividend here on November 14th, on Friday, the amount of 62 cents per share. The payment, which will be on the 28th of November. So that is actually, that's a shocker to me, because, with all the closings that was transpiring, especially in certain major city locations, you think that that would actually be doing bad for their stock, but it's actually saving them a bit. And I can't believe it, but I guess it could just be heading up higher than it was, maybe back to 87.50, possibly even 90. Could be that $90 a share would be the resistance for Starbucks for this month. Well, for the next 2 weeks, if it occurs, in my opinion. So, also what I see here on the list, SMCI down negative 3.71%, and SMCI has been dropping. It's been having a rough week. It's been actually, as a matter of fact, it's been having a rough month, and majority of October, where it was at 58 and change, and now it's at 38 and change, just like that. So maybe it's due to earnings too. The earnings was a complete miss, huge miss. So that is also a reaction to the sell-off. So yeah. Let's see, even on the weekly, it looks pretty heavy. Looks pretty heavy. 35 might be in the horizon for SMCI this month. PSKY. Paramount Skydance Corporation. gives its full report under new ownership, and Wall Street likes what it hears. It likes what it hears, but why is it turning why is it turning around? This is on the 2-minute chart. It had a little rally. I mean, it was trending up for a bit since 9 this morning. As a matter of fact, they did post their earnings, but it was a complete miss. It was a complete miss right there. It was also trading at $15 per share before anything, and then it actually made it to like $17.15. But it looks like all those gains are actually being capped, and they're taking profit, and it's selling off here. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be climbing up anytime soon with this type of pullback here. You can see here on the 5-minute chart too. It's more prominent, and I'd say it had to hold. It would have to hold around $16. Oh no. I say it probably would have to hold around $16 for sure. had to like mute the mic for a little bit because that bird was getting out of control. Probably will start acting up a little bit again. Wow. Where's James? Look at, oh. Whoa. Unity software. Oh my goodness. That is insane, dude. Unity is not stopping, dude. And it's been consistently beating earnings like every single time. Last time it missed earnings was back on February 22nd, 2023, but ever since then, dude, it's been constantly beating earnings. That is strong. There is a report that Unity Software's CFO sells his shares worth around $637,573, which is approximately 14,914 shares of common stock at $42.75. It is maintained at an equal weighted by Wells Fargo, with a price target of $42, raised from $37. So it's pretty cool to see. We'll see like what runners we have here so far. Big Bear AI up 10.33%. But wanting to go back down. That's crazy. NRGV. Ooh, NRGV up. NRGV is up. Although a missed revenue, third quarter revenue missed, but somehow it trended up. NRGV for some time. NRGV, since it was being talked about here, and thanks to shout out to Big JR, this thing was at 60 cents, and this was back in April 22nd of this year. About 59 cents, 59.5 cents, 52-week low, and this ended up climbing up as high as $4.85 today. It happened today. There is some selling off happening right now as we speak. Another stock here, and it's someone that had mentioned about this stock recently, Lumen. We've looked at this too, but Lumen, for some reason, at the beginning of market open, saw a sell-off. Trying to figure out what that was all about. It was at $10.50, $10.40, and dropped all the way down to as low as $9.70. Wondering why that was the case, or who sold, or what was the situation here, but yeah. Don't know what the situation is, but that is what's going on right now for Lumen and Lumen. It's not the first drop. The first drop happened around here, around Monday. So it went from 1139, then heading down to 1040, then heading down to 970. So I want to say that's a big deal there. And on top of that, like, look at the hourly trend. Here, just breaking below that super secret 200 EMA, and the trend is now red. It's turning red, and it's under the VWAP at $10.01. Take a look at the 4-hour chart, and looks more prominent to drop. In my opinion, I feel like it could go lower. On the daily, you can see it completely like stopped climbing up after the 3rd of November, and then just traded flat for the rest of the week of last week, and now it seems like it just wants to turn back around and start to fill some gaps down. So $8 on $7.80 to $8 a share probably might be the next target if bearish. So they did beat earnings though. They did beat earnings on the 30th of October. But whatever the case is now, it's struggling a little bit. Just a little bit. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Gary lurking behind the scenes, listening on in. How's everything? I'm off from work because it's a bank holiday. Your banks are closed. Tired. My body is all beat up. Ugh. What's going on today? Are you trading today? Just know that you can't settle any trades until tomorrow. Let's see what's going on here by Guru Focus. Here releasing an article 33 minutes ago titled "Dollar is quietly beating stocks. Here's the chart investors can't ignore." So the dollar is regaining its shine as global investors rediscover its yield power. After months of sell America talk and a bruising 7% slide in the Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index, its steepest in 8 years, the greenback has quietly climbed back about 3% from September lows. Bloomberg data shows a simple strategy of borrowing in low-yielding currencies like the yen or Swiss franc and parking the proceeds in dollars could outperform the risk-adjusted returns of European stocks or Chinese government bonds. JP Morgan private bank strategist Yushuan Tang said the dollar will end up being one of the highest carry currencies again, noting that both directional and carry factors still favor a strong dollar. You can read the rest right now here. Yeah, so let's see. Hmm. Hmm. So reading here. Hmm. Let me see. This renewed carry momentum is unfolding, just as investors question how long the AI-fueled stock rally can last. The S&P 500 has surged more than a third since April, yet the U.S. equity risk premium, the spread between the S&P 500's earnings yield and the 10-year Treasury yield, has turned negative. On a volatility-adjusted basis, Bloomberg's data suggests investors could earn roughly 0.54% through dollar carry trades for every point of volatility, compared to just 0.23% in Chinese equities. That difference could explain why global money is quietly shifting back toward dollar-denominated assets. During Tuesday's Asian session, the Bloomberg dollar gauge rose about 0.1% as regional equities slipped, showing how sentiment may be pivoting toward safer carry returns. Still, the bullish carry trade has its caveats. A faster pace of Fed rate cuts could erode the dollar's advantage, especially if the incoming Fed chair signals a more aggressive easing stance. Dutch bank's Jackie Tang believes the dollar could remain an appealing carry asset in the near term, though he flags uncertainty around 2026 policy shifts. Inflation of 3% in September, still above the Fed's 2% goal, could temper how quickly rates fall, preserving the carry trade's yield buffer. Wells Fargo strategist Arup Chatterjee said dollar carry trades may continue to look attractive as long as the macro and market backdrop remains resilient, suggesting dollar bulls might have more room to run into next year. So let's see, where is the dollar at right now? The dollar had been declining for some time, but overall, it looks like it had been bottoming for some time. You can see right here in the daily chart for the dollar index. You had all this time where it had been consolidating pretty much right around here between the months of July and October. But now the dollar index is trending a little bit higher. But this could be, I don't know if it will actually keep up here, as I'm seeing that there was a rejection off that super secret 200 EMA indicator there. As you can see, slightly the trend was turning green, and then it rejected hard and started to pull back. So and just as you know, on Thursday, November 13th, it looks like they're going to release the core inflation rate data. You got year over year and inflation rate year over year, month over month. Core inflation rate month over month. All forecasting to be around let's see. Okay, with year-over-year inflation, core inflation rate, to be forecasted still at 3, while inflation rate month over month is forecasted for to be at 0.2, and core inflation rate month to month to be forecasted at 0.3. Who's huh? Hey, who's throwing hearts? Love you too. I'm just eating a quick piece of bread with cheese inside. Warmed up. It's so good. Well, Ribbon is actually climbing up again. Wow. Rivian is up. Whoa. Hi, baby. That is wild. You had a breakout of the MACD here on the 2-minute chart for Rivian. Rivian is showing currently an influx of volume here, flowing in, and trying to see if it actually does try to break out from here and head to $18 a share. Looks like whatever's going on, it's so far it's not bad, but just looking at by the, let's see, the weekly. I mean, it has faced some resistance levels from the past. and was able to break that today. You had this resistance hit here at 1658. No, 1665 back in January 3rd. And then you had the resistance after that at 1715. And you have it completely broken now after this. Oh, wow. Look at that. Man. You had a bottom triangle and you had a bottom wedge. And that broke out completely. I was just like drawing that earlier and just wondering if this was for more upside to happen on Rivian. And I think that is what's happening. Because we do have here this pattern that I drew from here, and it seems like it fit with that wedge that it just talked about, and it looks like it did break out for sure. So we have to see if it actually holds above 1770 or it actually starts to pull back a little bit from the run up, because it is almost overbought. Even on the weekly it looks overbought right here. On the daily here, just they're just above the 70 level of the parabolic RSI. But the trend so far holding up, just holding up a bit. And we're seeing if it will trend a lot higher, or if this is probably going to be where the resistance is for now. Let's see. If you guys seen this report here, I know a lot of people are talking about it. This happened about 2:25 a.m. this morning. SoftBank sells its entire stake in Nvidia for $5.8 billion. How about that? It's also sold part of its stake in T-Mobile for $9.17 billion. Wow. Wow, why is that? So not only Nvidia, and you can see here Nvidia has been selling off crazy. And it's interesting how this all started to occur all of a sudden, and wow, you know, crazy. So why was this the case? Let's see what this guy thinks about it. He says, I think more will follow. Read this thread for more info on how retail is being taken advantage of. FTDs are out of control, yeah. I think we all know this. Situation where one party is a trading contract, whether it's shares, futures, options, or forward contracts, doesn't deliver on their obligation. Are you aware of FTD's failure to deliver in the stock market? Do you think it's fair that everyone but retail investors are allowed to delay their settlement by days, months, even in some cases years, to obtain lower purchase price or higher sales price? What a crux. That's funny. Yeah, we know that stuff. What does that have to do with this? Let's see. Let's read this post here. This response. Maybe a margin call for the junk bond that often they often float needed to be paid. It is probably not as easy to raise capital with high yield debt in this environment for SoftBank with J-pop girls or Japanese League baseball TV commercials. What? What's he talking about? Let's see. This person posted 3 hours ago. Nvidia buy signal. When he sold in 2019, he left a lot on the table. Talking about this, where in 2019, SoftBank's Vision Fund decided to sell all of its Nvidia shares, which comprised of 4.9% of the company. Although back then, this seemed like a smart move because SoftBank had originally spent around $700 million to buy the shares and ended up making a huge profit of $3.3 billion from the sale. Now it's clear. Had SoftBank held onto those shares, they would have been more worth. They would be more worth than $150 billion just a couple of days ago. Interesting. I'm getting out just in time before it pops. Important to mention they also owned 5% of the entire company in 2019 and sold it. 5 billion would have been 150 billion, but people will take this as a top signal somehow. SoftBank just became softer. SoftBank getting loan calls. Desperately in need of cash. That could be one that could be one option. I mean, that could be one situation that probably they probably needed oh, wow. Ouch.
¿Y qué va a hacer con eso? Dame. Acumular platos ahí.
Eat it. Wow. So let's see. Let's take a look at SoftBank. SoftBank Group. So I'm guessing. Hold on. This gotta be a no. This gotta be a stock here. Do they not have a stock here? I guess it's based on Canada? I don't know. Is Kenneth, are you still here? I mean, look at that. I mean, it's been on an uptrend for quite some time here. Is this considered? Oh, this is JPY. Japanese yen? No, let me do USD. USD. Okay, there you go. It makes more sense. Why is this under yen? That's interesting. The Toronto Stock Exchange. SoftBank is under the Toronto Stock Exchange, but is not listed in the U.S. stock exchanges. It's been on an uptrend for some time, but why would they be desperate for money though? No way. 61.63. Wait, 31.62 trillion? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. I don't think I'm looking at the right one. Another news. Robinhood. Check this out. This was posted last night at 8 p.m. by Cointelegraph. And now, Robinhood CEO Vlad says tokenization will unlock 24/7 markets. And once people experience it, they'll never go back. They're really pushing for this, aren't they? What happens if Hood goes bankrupt? Is there a custodian entity, for example, not Robinhood, for the tokenized assets, just like for any other publicly traded assets? Who owns the tokens? Who owns the assets that the token represents? Interesting question. This person says Tenev predicts tokenization creates irreversible 24/7 market access as the platform tokenizes 493 assets worth $8.5 million on Arbitrum for EU users. The CEO forecasts $50 trillion in tokenized assets by 2030, starting with 200 plus US stocks and ETFs trading around the clock in Europe. Robinhood's Layer 2 blockchain launches in 2026 for real estate tokenization next. Settlement drops from days to seconds. Europe moves first because US regulations lag behind despite stronger infrastructure. Once retail experiences instant settlement and weekend trading on tokenized securities, traditional market hours become obsolete constraint nobody tolerates. Wow. That's interesting. Did I post that here? No, I didn't, but I will post this right now because that's crazy. Dude, people are not going to be able to sleep. You imagine that? Like, you have markets available 24/7. You won't be able to stop trading. Like, so I think people need to start becoming more aware of the situation, because you're gonna have a lot of people have lots of sleepless nights. Lots of sleepless nights, man. It's gonna suck. And Hood will have a first mover's advantage on this. I've only seen BlackRock mention this besides Robinhood and of course the smaller cryptocurrencies. Somebody's like, huh, he's right. If trading never stops, what will market hours even mean anymore? Yeah, because we're all degen gamblers. just need a gazillion, trillion, nanillion times leverage now. See, somebody else says, in my honest opinion, once tokenization syncs with real-time collateral and foreign exchange rails, market hours will sound as archaic as dial-up internet. 24/7 markets just hit different. Trying to go back to 9 to 5 settlement after that is wild. The casino will be open for 24/7. Proof, XRP is already doing this. $1.3 trillion ODL volume year to date. 3.5 second settlements. 24/7 global payments live today. The infrastructure exists. The question isn't if, but when traditional finance admits it. True. True. That is true. Nvidia is still sinking down a little bit here. It is 11:41 in the morning here Eastern time, and SPY isn't looking too pretty either. It has failed twice to break out and still underneath the SSE 200 EMA, trying to come back down. Let's see what happens here as I eat my lunch. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Right back. I'll be right back. Ah, 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 ah. Welcome back, Sunny. GG, Ma. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you on the chat here in the Lions Den live stream. Hope all is well. I hope it's not as cold as it is over here in New York City. So yeah, much love to you, Sunny. Always appreciate you tuning in. You know, even though things have been a little bit of a struggle, but I always appreciate you and everybody else who decides to hop in and chill on the stream and, you know, look at the markets, trade, and, you know, and have our talks and, you know, do our thing. So yeah, so thank you. What up? What's going on? What's going on? How you guys doing? I'm surprised that Nike jumped. It's almost $63 a share here from trading from under 61. Lumen Technologies. Just gotta think about this for a second. Mama just jumped on $10 calls 2 weeks out. Weekly chart. The weekly chart. We need to not see this breakdown. It's raining here, high of 46 degrees and low of 37 degrees. We were only able to see only 30 minutes of snow this early this morning. And it felt like 29 degrees outside. I didn't get to see the snow itself, but somebody had posted it on Instagram. Fishy, why do you consider, tell me, in your own opinion, why do you consider jumping on $10 Lumen calls 2 weeks out? Let me know what your answer is. Rivian looks like it has exhausted himself from all of that rallying. It was a big jump from $16.20 all the way to $17.82 now. Cooling down, taking profits and all this stuff, and trying to see if it just consolidates here. It could go for another leg up, or it could just reject and come back down to around 16.90, 17. Let's take a look at Lumen real quick. I need to take a look at Lumen real quick, man. Let's take a quick look at Lumen on Webull, shall we? Okay, let's take a quick look at that right now. Here? I'm gonna look at it right now. Cling! 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 Cling, 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 cling. Cling, 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 cling. Let's look at the weekly chart, shall we? This does not look pleasant. As a matter of fact, here, supposedly the MACD here on the weekly chart seems to be topping over. And also the RSI coming down just a little bit here. There's a pullback. This is a pretty consistent pullback here for this weekly candle. And knowing the fact that it's only Tuesday and it's dropped this much, which could concern you. It should concern you, in my opinion, because it might just break down a little bit more. And if it falls below 965, I mean, that's breaking down. That's breaking below the last weekly candle. And from there, you might want to think about that for a second. The 4-hour chart doesn't look any better. It's just, I'm just looking at how this is playing off as it's being pulled back. People are somehow selling, taking their profits and all that stuff. But where could this stop at? It would have to bounce around here. So if if the markets can turn around too, I mean, that's something that would be great. Hope that's the case. Ouch. I'll look at the option statistics. Not a lot of volume, surprisingly, for calls versus puts. I think it's because it's a holiday. I don't think a lot of people are trading today, but for some reason, some group of investors seems to have taken advantage of specific stocks. But Lumen, not so sure as to why it's down a lot. We'll take a look and see what happens in the next 5 minutes until it hits 12 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and make some coffee. I'll be right back. a bounce, a bounce right off the line that I have there, a bounce for Lumen. Will this bounce solidify the trend reversal here and go back up? We'll see if it does that or if it actually reverses and comes back down below that line. Stay tuned. Bam, balam, balam, bam. I feel cold. Why does it feel so cold? All right. Now, we gotta see what is the trend looking like for the market in general. Currently, we'll see that the SPY is climbing up. So there could be some bottoming in most of the stocks. Question is if that's only short term, because things can always turn back around. So we got to see. Now, as for Lumen Technologies, again, you have the possibility to break down below this major level here at 960, or has been already broken down to a low of 958. But anything below that, then there is some more downside. But you would need to take this possibly potentially for some bottoming here. If it doesn't turn into a bear flag, that is. If it just consolidates throughout this range here. I'm just gonna say maybe draw just a random. There's a random triangle here. Somewhere around here. Apparently, my shit just disconnected. Really? Am I still alive? Yes or no? Did I disconnect? I don't know. Let's see. No. Okay, I'm still alive. Good. Alright. So, as I was saying, so this box here that I placed here, and I want to say that maybe, just maybe, if we can see some consolidation and then this range, then it could be possible that Lumen makes the bounce off of this line here that I drew earlier today, and then tries to hit some resistances here. See, 960, 967. I'm gonna put an alert for 967, and I'm gonna put an alert for 976, because then that will give me the indication that Lumen is now surging back up, volume moving, inflows, all of that stuff. And it's not, and that is not going to continue on that downtrend. I'm drinking drugs right now, and by that I mean my coffee. Oh, some good stuff. TP. Yes, I'm live. Only for today. Only for today. I didn't even know the markets were open. Apparently, equities and options are open to trade. You can trade your options. You can trade your SPY calls if you'd like. 690 calls, and for Friday expiration. I'm joking. But you would have to wait until the trade settles tomorrow. And anything that you did, and so if you sold something yesterday, shares or options, whatever, it won't be settled until tomorrow. So you won't be able to get your buying power until tomorrow. How are you doing, my friend? What is going on with you, man? Fishy was on here earlier. He jumped onto some $10 Lumen calls 2 weeks out, which is not bad. Kind of like the idea. I just want to know if this is going to turn into a bear flag or if it's actually going to consolidate and look for the bounce and try to head back up. $10 is considered to be a rough resistance to break. But I do see a little bit of a attempt to bounce. Just in case. But SPY did bounce back. I thought for sure that it was actually going to drop today. We had a big sell off after 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, from 680.84 all the way down to as low as 678.73, and and then it's just been swinging up and down. I swear to you, this was a perfect. Well, what was that? Who was that? Who was that? Oh, Lumen. Okay, so Lumen is okay, Lumen is doing it. Lumen is doing it. What's going on? Hey, what is this? What's happening here? Okay, so yeah, Lumen is actually. Oh, there you go. There you go. Lumen. Hey, stop drawing. What are you doing? Yeah, Lumen is doing it. Here we go. There goes the bounce. Fishy. Where's Fishy at? Probably somewhere else. Eric, I haven't seen Eric. But sometimes he'll pop in and out there on Discord. I could call him out and be like, hey, Eric, psst. Get your ass in the stream right now. I'm gonna tag him right here. Is looking for ya. Also, shout out to Zelly. Zelly is safe and sound. I know that 2 typhoons had hit the Philippines, but she is safe and sound. I would play the voice note, but it's too freaking exclusive for YouTube, and we don't need copyrights for that. Much love to her. He is probably stacking on those dividends. He is, definitely. Let's see. His W pay. Look at him. Look at him in his crown there. Look at that. That's him. He's balling on dividends. He did post earlier, a few weeks ago, actually, on the 30th of October, information on this ETF from Round Hill Investments called GLDW. Hence the reference to this meme here. I would not walk around like that in New York City, that's for sure. Especially in the Dominican Republic. But I would like to check that out right now. And I would love to finally get into a position in something so I can collect some dividends. I'm just really undecided on which. But I know you two have been in the dividend game for some time. WPAY. I think people have been. Oh, big rejection there actually. Wow. But let's go ahead and see the yield max. The yield max ETFs, how that's been doing so far. Do you still have ULTY? Bam. Bam. 7 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents, 9 cents. Looks like it has been declining here. Sheesh. So it did break new lows and has hit a new 52-week low of $4.46. That's crazy. But guess what though? MRNY. I've been thinking that perhaps maybe MRNY is on the verge of bottoming out. I could be wrong, but I have been seeing Moderna go green a couple of times this past week. And now, officially, MRNY paying weekly dividends since October 9th. You can see the big cut here from, well, actually, as a matter of fact, that's interesting. Their dividends rose up from 9 cents and actually 7 cents. The last dividend pay date before going from monthly to weekly. And this past October 9th, which was the first date where it started paying out weekly, paid at 11.5 cents. But then dropped dramatically to 2 cents, 2 cents, 3 cents. So it's a slight drop, but at $1.56, in my opinion, way cheaper than ULTY. That is just on some cheaps, wow. Dude, not only that, but YieldMax AI Option Income Strategy, AIYY, also became a weekly paying dividend ETF. Also paying at around the same amount. So what's going on? Are they all now paying weekly dividends? I'm confused. Because even AMDY is doing it. And now they're paying, just a little amount. Kind of don't get it. Are they all doing it? Oh wow, I think they're all setting their ETFs to be paying weekly dividends. A, B, and Y. That's the Airbnb option income strategy. AI, AMD, Amazon, Apple, Baba. BIGY isn't. It's still a monthly dividend paying stock. ETF. BRKB, which is Berkshire Hathaway B. Oh, paying weekly now. Okay, so that's weekly. Semiconductor, CHPY, paying weekly. Seems like it's been paying weekly since it started, I guess. All right, CONY. Wow. So I guess they're all paying weeklies. Well, what's the fun in that? GPTY is weekly as well. HOOY is weekly. Wow. Dude, October 16? Wait, hold on. On October 16, payment was on the 17th of October on a Friday. HOOY dividends paid $5.94 each share. That's massive. And then, of course, since it became a weekly paying dividend, this got dramatically cut. Heavy duty. I mean, what do you guys think about that? If that's the case, I mean, I'd rather pick the cheapest one that's there. I mean, even though it's one hell of a risk, I might as well just go on MRNY. It is green. It's up almost 2%. At $1.57, even though the dividends is paying out 2 cents. That's one heck of a difference. Cause just thinking about it, if it's not affected much by NAV erosion, and the dividends stay the same, and on top of that, with a lot going on and defense stocks probably on their way back up, and if there's a catalyst that happens over time that could bring mRNA's stock price up higher, I think that's when MRNY will start to follow. But man, I mean, like $1.58. I mean, you figure times 10,000 shares, $15,800 you buy into this. 10,000 shares times the amount of dividends paid out here, 0.022, which is giving you about $220 a week, which obviously that is $880 a month on top of everything, and on top of the fact that this MRNY goes up, and I'm getting ideas, but I just wonder if it's worth doing it or not. Not financial advice, by the way. Anything said in this stream is strictly, in my opinion, for educational, research, and entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Not financial advice. If you have any questions and anything that you would want to do with your investments, always consult a professional financial advisor. Let's take a look at this. Round Hill Gold Weekly Pay, GLDW, designed for investors seeking a combination of income and growth potential. GLDW aims to provide weekly distributions and calendar week returns before fees and expenses equal to 1.2 times 120% the calendar week total return of the SPDR Gold Trust, ticker symbol GLD, the gold ETF. GLDW is an actively managed ETF. There is no guarantee that the fund will successfully provide returns that correspond to approximately 1.2 times 120%. The calendar week total return of shares of the gold ETF and investment is in the fund is not an investment in the underlying ETF. So why GLDW? You have your weekly distributions, so they pay distributions every week, often offering a recurring income stream for shareholders. Enhanced exposure, so GLDW seeks to amplify returns by targeting 120% of the gold ETF's weekly performance. And a powerful combination, GLDW provides a potentially powerful combination of leverage and weekly income. Let's see the ticker, GLDW, primary exchange, CBO BZX, expense ratio at 0.99%, and the AUM 4.199 millones. The launch was this past October 30th, just about over a week ago. ETF options is available, QSIP number, ISIN, shares outstanding 80,000, management style is active, blah, 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 blah. Top holdings is, of course, the SPDR Gold Shares Swap M ticker. The weight is 109.42%. Performance closing price last time was $52.39. The change was $1.49. Change was up 2.92%. 30-day medium bid ask spread at 0.34%. Distributions is weekly. All right. The amount paid, the distribution history here, November 7th. The X date, November 10th, which was yesterday, and the record date. The pay date is on the 12th, so tomorrow. People will get paid almost 17 cents in dividend distribution there for those holding this ETF by Roundhill. You can see that MRNY is slowly ticking up here. It was at a bottom of 153, so it moved up a little bit here. Just let me go ahead and check out GLDW. This also has been inching up a little bit here. Let me remind you, it heads up that gold's price is at $4,112.42 an ounce. So it is somewhat consolidating here. It was in a slight uptrend here in the 2-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 15-minute here. It looks like it was on a big trend up, and then it just pulled back recently, earlier this morning. So I wonder what that's all about. But GLDW, last pay was 17 cents. But $52.31 per share. 17 cents each. That's a lot of investing to do if that was the case. I'd have to be a six-figure man to go into something like this, especially if I want to have a lot of shares in this and get a good chunk of dividends being paid out to me every week. Should be cool. But I mean, even though there has been a lot of skepticism and all that stuff here on the yield max side of things, I'm not too sure what's going on. I don't know what's happening to Alti, but looks like they have been looking at other ones here. And on top of that, MRNY, I've been just eyeing on this for a while. I feel like, like the price, 158. I mean, people are going to look at this and then they're going to look at the dividends and be like, you know what? Over time, this could be a potential. If I go and look at the stock itself, MRNA, let's see how that's doing. It is up, and it's obviously tracking. I mean, it's the same algo, but it's been climbing up here recently. On top of that, Moderna has joined the Equinox Initiative, working with over 40 groups, including universities and governments, to boost global innovation and entrepreneurship and attract investment. Look at this. This was 11 hours ago. A new regional partnership, Equitable Innovation Oxford, Equinox, has been launched to position Oxford as a global hub for innovation and entrepreneurship. The initiative, launched by Member of Parliament for Oxford East, aiming to create a robust ecosystem that supports business scale-ups, attracts investment, and nurtures talent across the region. Supported by over 40 key partners, including the University of Oxford, Oxfordshire County Council, Moderna, Oxford Science Enterprises, Siemens Healthineers, and the Ellison Institute of Technology. Equinox unites universities, government, businesses, and investors under one collaborative platform. In conjunction with the launch, NatWest announced the launch of a new NatWest Accelerator in Oxfordshire to provide tailored support and specialist banking expertise for startups, according to a statement. Let's see. Okay, that seems a little positive there. Moderna is maintained at underperformed by Bank of America Securities. Their target was cut to $21 a share from $24 a share. Okay. Moderna forecasts sales drop for COVID RSV vaccines. Barclays cuts price target $25 to $31. Okay. All yield max went to Shij, but NVDY. What happened to NVDY? Did you see NVDY dropped though? No, I mean Nvidia, because SoftBank had sold all of its stake in Nvidia. Did you see that? I thought that was actually pretty wild. Look at it right here. SoftBank sells its entire stake in Nvidia for $5.83 billion. And it also sold part of its stake in T-Mobile for $9.17 billion. T-Mobile. So yeah, look, Nvidia. I'm not sure if it actually affected the price action. I mean, yeah, I think maybe this entire sell-off here was all SoftBank. I could be wrong, but you see. Could it be that, or could it be this? Maybe it was this. I'm not so sure, but because of that, also NVDY here, as you can see, following the same algo here, just tracked along with it. So it's down. Also here, posted by CNBC TV. U.S. stocks slide as tech valuations, labor market draw fresh concern. Here we go. The rally in U.S. equities stalled Tuesday morning as large cap AI-related stocks fell, with two lofty valuations in focus and traders parsed data showing more weakening in the labor market. The S&P 500 index opened 0.2% lower, led by declines in the tech and communications sector, services sectors. Nvidia Corp was the biggest drag on the index on Tuesday morning, sliding after SoftBank Group Corp sold its stake in the chipmaker for $5.83 billion to fund other AI investments. Really? So which AI investments are they talking about? You know what? Now I'm curious. I think it's time to do some chat GPT. Well, you got to think about the bigger, the other AI companies. Maybe OpenAI or why did such let's see. Nvidia was the biggest drag on the index on Tuesday morning, sliding after it saw blah 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 blah. Sold its stake in chip maker for $5.83 billion to fund other AI investments. Why did SoftBank make such a big move, and which AI investments did SoftBank fund into? NFA. This is for research purposes. And ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check for important info to your own research. Now, what ChatGPT is saying here is why the sale of the Nvidia stake. SoftBank confirmed it sold around 32.1 million Nvidia shares in October, realizing about $5.83 billion. So I guess this is October. This was the end, pretty much the end of October, going to November. So this must have been this must have been where SoftBank sold all its stake, because this is on the 4-hour chart. This sell off was drastic, like literally drastic. Like, you're talking about from $211 a share all the way down to as low as $178. That's a big chunk of shares right there. So that's probably them right there, in my opinion. SoftBank's CFO Yoshimitsu Goto stated the sale was nothing to do with Nvidia itself, quote unquote, but was motivated by the need to mobilize capital to fund its large-scale AI investments. This was sourced by The Guardian, by the way. As SoftBank sells stake in Nvidia for $5.8 billion as it doubles down on OpenAI bets. I just mentioned OpenAI, because it is probably the second largest AI investment that people has been getting into. So not surprised there. Analysts interpret the move as SoftBank believing that while Nvidia remains strong, the marginal opportunity and or valuation premium in other segments, especially AI infrastructure and AI applications, may be higher or more aligned with its strategy. That was sourced by Stock Story. Another angle, SoftBank is currently undertaking major AI bets and needs liquidity to execute them. Selling a high liquid, large position holding like Nvidia shares allows that. So that makes sense. Timing also matters. Given Nvidia's sharp run up and growing concerns about stretched valuations in the AI sector, this is seen as profit taking and at reallocation rather than signaling a lack of faith in Nvidia. That also makes sense, because look at where Nvidia was, and look at where Nvidia had dropped previously since April. Nvidia was at like $86 on April 7th. And that was after the forward, was it the forward split? No, it was a reverse split. Back in June 10th of 2024. So we're talking about at this point here, after the split. So if that was them and they had entered from this point all the way to this point up here, shoot, I mean, yeah, of course, they made their profits for sure. They made a good chunk. They made a good chunk, and they made a right decision on their behalf to take profits from here, and that was the smart decision to do. Because now after that, and we're just observing here, we're just speculating. Ever since then, I mean, look at where it's dropped. So again, from the high of $212.16 from October 29th to the low of 178.91, and then getting bumped back up here to as high as 200. Now trading at 192.89, I'd say was a good move. But it was to say that this would be the end of I mean, we really don't know. Of course, we can just speculate on this too, as this could be a signal or a sign that maybe others could tend to maybe follow and then see Nvidia's shares slide even more down and probably try to break below its probably try to retest these support levels. As you can see here, it's where it had been consolidating since July all through October, right around the 175 180 a share range. So we probably would have to look to that and see if that's the case, if that comes to fruition. And if more news comes out like this, that wouldn't really be good for Nvidia, well, the stock itself, because there's so many other AI investments out there that is very competitive. So let's continue reading on here. So besides the need of liquidity to be able to execute on those major AI bets and exiting Nvidia, timing also matters. So given, again, the sharp run-up and growing concerns about stretched valuations in the AI sector, profit taking, all that stuff, as I showed you. Now, what is SoftBank investing into instead? So here, again, for speculation purposes, this is for research purposes, not financial advice, but do your own research. Now, here are the key areas where SoftBank is deploying or has earmarked large amounts of capital. Number one, OpenAI. SoftBank is doubling down on its stake in OpenAI. Reports indicate SoftBank's investment target is in the tens of billions. For example, at about $30 billion in OpenAI, sourced by Data Center Dynamics here. Goto, in one comment, said, quote, "This year our investment in OpenAI is large. Even more than $30 billion needs to be made." That was sourced by The Guardian. Stargate, an AI infrastructure project. SoftBank is backing a major AI infrastructure initiative said to be up to $500 billion over multiple years, aimed at building U.S. data center capacity, large-scale AI compute infrastructure, sourced by Reuters here. Other AI and physical AI plays. SoftBank is increasingly focusing not just on the digital/algorithmic layer of AI, but on the physical world, like robotics, autonomous systems, next-gen semiconductors, AI infrastructure, For example, it acquired the robotics division of ABB Ltd. for $5.4 billion and supports startups like Wave, autonomous vehicles, and Bear Robotics, service robots. Let's do some research here. ABB Ltd. is a global technology leader in electrification and automation, specializing in sustainable solutions for industries worldwide. The company was formed in 1988 through the merger of Sweden's Allmänna Svenska Elektriska Aktiebolaget, I don't know how to say that, and Switzerland's Brown, Boveri, and Classe, I don't know. And its traditional core activities include power generation, transmission, distribution, industrial automation, and robotics. ABB offers products and services across four main business areas: electrification, motion, process automation, and robotics and discrete automation. So this is their website. Not for promotion or a sponsor or anything like that. We're just researching. Boners. We'll answer that question in a bit. But yeah, ABB and look at this. Evolves IRB 1200 family with greater speed, precision, and darn it. Let me read. All right. Eyes, hands, brains, and mobility will define robotics beyond 2025. So their vision of robots that they can talk and interact with, that can work out their own solutions to tasks, and that can move freely in dynamic environments and is real in changing the nature of work. AI is bringing new horizons of versatility to robots to do more things in more places and do it faster, safer, and smarter. They can transform new sectors with more versatile robots, from logistics to construction, healthcare, and life sciences, and we're making it possible today. They're saying they're claiming this, and this is the company right here. So, autonomous versatile robotics. They are creating a world where mobile robots can seamlessly switch between tasks in real time and without effort or human intervention, moving beyond the fixed world of operating procedures and coding. ABB and Landing AI unleash the power of generative AI for robotic vision. So ABB Robotics has invested in California-based Landing AI to accelerate the transformation of vision AI, making it faster, more intuitive, and accessible to a broader range of users. Here, ABB evolves IRB 1200 family with greater speed and precision and choice. Their robotics IRB 1200 high-performance small robot family is evolving into a new generation of precise, and all that stuff. All that stuff. So that's them. So SoftBank is putting in a good chunk into them too as well. Wave, I think you've heard about Wave. Actually no, wait. Pioneering a new era of automated driving. Their breakthrough AI technology empowers vehicles to perceive, predict, and progress through dynamic environments to understand and learn from human behavior. Let's go through quickly here. And then Bear Robotics. Meet your next hire. Save money and increase efficiency with our budget-friendly AMR robots that automate tasks. Who is this? Based in California. Let's see. Strengthen your workforce with AI-powered delivery robots. I've seen these already. And I think there was one. I think they have these in one of the malls in New York City, or I forgot, it was like one of those like sushi belt restaurants in some place in Manhattan. I forgot where it was. I don't know where. I could just tell you that I've seen these around, moving food around. It's happening. It exists. They're around, and it's just getting started. And then finally, reallocating portfolio assets. So the sale of NVIDIA shares is one piece of a broader divestment reallocation strategy. SoftBank also sold $9.17 billion of its stake in T-Mobile US earlier to free up capital. Let's go ahead and take a look at NVIDIA real quick. Not NVIDIA. Well, NVIDIA, which looks like it is trying to rebound, so that might indicate that the market is also trying to recover. So we can go ahead and check on the SPY real quick. And yeah, look at that. SPY is climbing the hell up. It was at like 680 just a while ago, and now it's at 682.42. So further climbing up. I will be averaging down on my SQQQ $14 calls for January 16. Mark my words, that is going to print, in my opinion. GME also seems to be climbing back up too as well. It just hit an alert for 21.59. It did look like it was going to approach $21. It was down a bit, but now it's now back in the green, up 0.42% at 21.58. So we'll see what happens if SPY continues its ups and downs. Yeah, honey's being a little, but yeah, let's see. Okay, so SoftBank is from Japan. I just realized that. That's why I was showing the price in Japanese yen. Made sense. If you like, I can pull up a detailed list of SoftBank's announced recent AI infrastructure investments, amounts, partners, timelines. You can track. Any reasons as to why T-Mobile? Let me just check T-Mo. No. What's the ticker symbol for T-Mobile again? Jeez. Coño. Oh, it's TMUS. TMUS, right? Yes, it is. Okay. TMUS. Jeez, honey. Okay, so I think this is where they probably sold their chunk here, around here, somewhere around here was where SoftBank had got rid of TMUS, T-Mobile, and then now it looks like it's recovering here after that bounce. But they did report good earnings, though. They did beat their earnings and earnings per share and revenue. So still solid overall. They're paying about $1.02 every month per share in dividends, by the way. That's the next dividend payout, which will happen on December 11th. November 26th is the ex-dividend date. Do you foresee an epic boning of Railtown asset soonly? Yeah, I hope so. I'm not so sure, man. We can find out. Let's see. So SoftBank sold around 21.5 million shares of T-Mobile for approximately $4.8 billion in June of 2025. Okay. Later in that same period, it sold an additional T-Mobile shares, 40.2 million shares, about 9.17 billion after, as disclosed in its half-year report. The majority of the sell-off is described as part of an asset monetization strategy by SoftBank to free up capital. Oh, that's all it did. It's not. I don't think it would be anything to worry about considering the sell-off. I mean, the selling of T-Mobile. It's just like everybody else. Well, let me sell at the top because now I want to focus on these certain investments and get into these companies before they blow up. So that's all it is. I know a lot of people are gonna like start mixing the story around. They're like, oh my God, they saw Nvidia. Nvidia's gonna like dump to like $50 a share, and oh my God, like we must panic sell and blah blah blah. You know how psychology works sometimes. Yeah, let's look at Railtown real quick. Let's rail the tunnel a lot. Let's rail the tunnel a bit more. So Railtown is up 1.59%. Let me look at my phone real quick because that's hard to believe. Probably delete this dash. I don't need to do this. So let me show you real quick. I'd have to look into my Thinkorswim to see how Railtown is doing. By the way, how's it going, Moistly? Boners. How have you been? Yeah, it says Railtown is up 3.48% at 43 cents, or almost 43.5 cents. I'm trying to look at the higher time frames. Looks like it's somewhat consolidating. That's okay. All right, this looks decent. I'm gonna go ahead and chart this on TradingView right now. Beyond getting coiled up to splooge on the haters. Let me go ahead and check this out here real quick. That's crazy. Look at this. Can this make sense? That big candle. I never understood what that candle was all about. Work been boring me for boning you for real. You know how it is. Another day, another dollar, another way to make the blah blah something. Yeah, man. I hear that. How's the fam? How's the daughter's soccer games going? Any championships? Making you proud? Damn, I wouldn't really know. What is this? I mean, a 4 hour, not 4 hour, for 6 hour, 4 hour chart. Okay, what is this? 4 days ago, Railtown AI Technologies announces intention to complete the amalgamation with AI Partnerships Corp. So they are pleased to announce that it intends to complete its previously announced proposed amalgamation transaction with AI Partnerships Corp. On November 14, 2025. So that's just in 3 days. The transaction will close pursuant to an amalgamation agreement as amended entered into among the company, a wholly owned subsidiary of the company, and AIP, as previously announced on October 8, 2025. Under the terms of the transaction, Railtown will acquire all of the outstanding shares of AIP from the holders thereof in exchange for up to 50 million common shares of Railtown, representing an exchange ratio of approximately 2.52 Railtown shares for each AIP share acquired, subject to adjustment in accordance with the amalgamation agreement. Collectively, the consideration shares will be subject to escrow and contractual restrictions on transfer as follows: 10 million of the consideration shares, the escrow shares, on a pro rata basis to all AIP shareholders, will be placed in escrow upon closing of the transaction, the effective date, and subject to release or cancellation of the following basis: 1 million escrow shares, the indemnity shares, on a pro rata basis to all AIP shareholders, will be subject to cancellation for no consideration in the event Railtown makes an indemnification claim prior to the date that is 12 months from the effective date, with 1 consideration share being canceled for every 50 cents of Railtown's claim, and 50% of the escrow shares, including any indemnity shares that were not canceled, will be eligible for release from escrow upon Railtown recording annual recurring revenue from AIP affiliates equal to or greater than $1 million from the effective date to the date that is 36 months from the effective date, the first milestone, and the remaining 50% of the escrow shares will be eligible for release from escrow upon Railtown recording annual recurring revenue from AIP affiliates equal to or greater than $2 million. The second milestone, from the effective date to the date that is 36 months from the effective date. If the first milestone and or second milestone are not met by the date that is 36 months from the effective date, the escrow shares that were to be released upon satisfaction of such milestone will be canceled for no consideration. The escrow shares to be released from escrow as a result of satisfaction of the first milestone or second milestone will be released upon satisfaction of such milestone, but no earlier than 18 months from the effective date and no later than 36 months from the effective date, provided that certain consideration shares, the key shareholders' shares, received by key AIP shareholders, the key shareholders, will instead be released from escrow on the date that is 36 months from the effective date. You know what? That's a lot of like, you know what? Hold on. She got 1 goal and dabbed on them. Nice. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. She said dab. That's a great father. You're a great father figure. Just dab on them. Dab on them motherfuckers. Dab on them like, So what I'm gonna do is, because I don't understand a poop of what the heck is saying here, I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. Because that is ridiculous. Oh. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, man, don't do it. Don't do it. My computer's acting up now. Great. Thanks to zooming out of the page. Man, Google Chrome is... There it goes. There it goes. You see? I can't even zoom in on a page, and like my one single stick of RAM can't even handle this. I think that's what I need to do. I just need to get like another stick of RAM. That's crazy. I just wanted to post this.